Okay, so welcome to Beverly Angel Voices Mediums. This shouldn't be nothing new. I've been, have, told people who I was, try to tell people, people didn't want to believe me, they didn't want to listen. But I, can channel spirits, those that passed away. And I found that out from when the time I used to do readings, people loved ones would come up, and there's a lot of information things God tell me, will show me, and have me to specifically tell that person, whoever was getting read. Okay, so the story of I think I was just like scrolling or whatever, and somehow it was just the story of the missing person came up. And this was a woman, a young teen. She was pregnant. They found her body in the Mississippi River in like 1975, but 50 years later, like 5 days ago, it's like it was, I guess, something about her story coming back up. Some with the genealogies, they was doing the DNA. They found out who she was because they had her as a John Doe. I mean, we already know that God is the one that made sure that this young teen, because she was a young anointed. She was anointed. That's why God says, touch not my anointed. And so she was a young woman, and someone took her life young. And they probably never thought that her story, her case would, pop back up and come back up. But anyways, lately God had been mentioning something to me. God had actually told me a few years ago when I was doing readings and stuff on one of my old channels, when I would do messages and stuff with the with the cards or whatever. And so God had told me something about like psychic investigator. And I remember I said, okay, so what you saying, God? I did used to always watch the ID channel and all those channels, investigation discoveries, and like all those type of shows and channels and stuff, and Law and Order, all that type of stuff. CSI, used to always watch that. First 48, I used to watch all those channels or whatever, like the crime solving channels. For some reason it was just something like I was interested in. At a point in time, I used to say I was gonna, do CSI, but But anyways, long story short. So, however, when God mentioned to me psychic investigator, and I'm like, I'm a psychic investigator, And so, I don't know, something just had told me like to do this message. And then I had created this channel too about me voicing mediums, because I said as God give me the information and stuff, I'm going to do messages. Like it was a time when I went to visit my father. He passed away. I went to visit his grave site, whatever. And so it was another grave that we had like that was right by his. And then it was a picture like that they had on that grave site, and I was like, oh, let me see. I want to see this picture. I'm like, because it was like in color. I'm like, oh, this picture looks like real clear. Like it looks good. However they did that, picture or whatever. So y'all, I just, walked over there to look at the picture. While I was standing at the person's grave site, do you know Spirit instantly like started talking to me, telling me things like what happened to this man. They was like, yes, he was murdered, and la 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 la. And then when I got home, I had did a reading on him, like, now God, you was mentioning Spirit was talking to me and telling me what happened to this man. It's like his spirit wanted to speak so bad, like he wanted to say what happened to him. And so I had did, a reading on what happened to him. I didn't ever post the reading, because I just felt like that was just a personal thing. I felt like maybe God showed me that for a reason, whatever. So I just, did the reading at home or whatever. And, there was information that God revealed or whatever, pertaining to what had happened to that man. And, but anyway, so now with the young teen, that was found. They had her as a Jane Doe. She was found in the Mississippi River in 1975. And so her name is Cheryl Lane Edwards. I think at the time when they found her, she was young. Like, she was young, y'all. I think they said she could have been anywhere from like 12 to 25. And the reason why they kind of like had to do a sum of guessing, because, you know, her body was dismembered. It was like they made it where, you know, she wouldn't be recognizable, where they, you know, couldn't identify her. That's why they had her as a John Doe. Now, as I did this video, you know, God had me, you know, first of all, I called out for her spirit and asked her to tell me what had happened, what happened to her. And when I called her spirit out, there are some things that the spirit was relating to me. I was channeling that, you know, she was saying. And so there are some specific things, you know, God told me to use my decks that I have. And so I put out these particular decks. And so as I put out these decks, it's like as I'm pulling out the decks anyway, and, you know, asking her, still, her spirit's still right there with me. So I'm still asking her questions. What happened with this. And so the cards are, they just coming out. And so even some things I was like saying it before the card even comes out. However, first card that came out, the first thing God had mentioned was just justice. Before I even did the cards, when I listened to the story, I said it sounds like she is receiving her justice. I always have been telling people this, but see, didn't nobody believe me. I was telling people, I said, what y'all gonna do? Wake up the dead? I said, a lot of these spirits, that's what that resurrection is. You know, like a lot of these spirits, a lot of these people that passed away and like that they were innocent, like, you know, killed for no, taken out for no reason, harmed for no reason, you know, innocently didn't do nothing to nobody. And you see, she was an innocent child, and the child, she was pregnant too on top of that. And from what the story is saying, like, she was shot in the head. They shot the baby. You know, and of course, we already know what that sounds like. It's, you know, it's like somebody was trying to cover something up because she was pregnant, you know, and that person probably was older than her age, you know, probably was older than her age, and, you know, probably shouldn't have been getting her pregnant in the first place, and probably was trying to hide and cover it up. So, you know, this devil that she came across, and spirit shows it all comes out in these cards that God told me to pull out. This particular deck said pull that out. So it even comes up showing water, which is true. She was found in the river. She was found in the water. I told people, I said, these spirits, they soul cannot rest until they receive their justice. And I be darned if a card pulled out showing rest. And then it showed the transformations, like, so now she can cross over because now she received she have got her justice. It even showed like, okay, the puzzle has been solved. So it's meaning like her case is coming out, like everything, you know, is coming out. The truth is coming out, is being solved. You know, this woman, you know, like I tell people, we all been reborn, you know. I feels like her spirit, I feel like she's back here again. Because we are as reincarnated, reborn again. She's back again. That's why resurrection showed up. She's back. But she's back as another person, you know, like another person in another body, probably under you know, got a whole new name now. Because she was reborn again. That's how a lot of us is. A lot of us is old souls. Like, we are all reborn again. Like, we've been here before, you know. And so it's like her spirit, I feel like her spirit is back. Like, her spirit has, you know, came back. Because even something even was saying, like coming back to remembering what happened or something. And so it's like everything what happened to her is like coming back, is now resurfaced. It's like now I'm hot. Let me turn this light off. It's like, I'm turning this light off, y'all. It's like resurfacing, you know? So, yeah, it's resurfacing. Oh yeah. It's like anything I be seeing, it's God that gives me the answers and the information, that I know. But so what she was revealing to me, it's like something took place at it's like I feel like she was at some type of party gathering, like partying with some people, gathering with some people or whatever. But Spirit also mentioned to me about she was abducted, So then abuse and neglect. It showed like she was abused and neglected. So abducted, like they had her probably like trapped in a house where this probably had took place. Like she was probably trapped in this house, like where she was being drugged and drinking and stuff or whatever. It showed like with a homicide, like it showed where everything had took place. Like this took place at like a residence, and it showed that they cleaned it up. They had like some type of meeting. It showed something like a group, a cart. The cart is like them group of evil people, the devils, and it's like what they did is they tried to make sure like that her body couldn't be identified, like where she couldn't be seen or whatever. Spirit also reveals and shows on here like that. I feel like she was like a sacrifice, for greed, for money. You know what I'm saying? Like they took her. I feel like she could have been like in love because it showed the crime of passion. And she met someone that was a devil, and he was out here doing this to a lot of people, and it's just this young innocent child just somehow came across this man. It's like she thought that this person loved her. That's like what Spirit was kind of like revealing to me. It's like she thought this person loved her, but she didn't think this was like no love for money type of thing. She didn't think that this was gonna be like the end of her, you know what I'm saying? Like it turning out into that, but she didn't know that whoever this person she came across, he used her as a sacrifice. And it's showing like this person was an elder too. It's like this is somebody she thought that cared for her. She thought that this person loved her. She probably thought like that they, had something, what I'm saying, like had something going, and but it shows that the person, whatever the evidence, the Spirit is showing right here, it's like with the evidence, they probably had threw that evidence somewhere like in a dumpster, where they throw the garbage and stuff, whatever at. That's where that weapon is probably at, that's what it's showing. It's showing like that's what they did with the evidence. And wherever they did the crime at, they cleaned it up. It also showed like that she was having meetings with this person, like too, like she may have like was meeting this person like at motels, or you know what I'm saying, like so this is a person she was hooking up, but it does show that everything was recorded and on camera. So it's like that's why it's showing the person did not get away with it. This male that did this to her, that he did not get away with it. And then it showed like her spirit came back, basically. You know what I'm saying? Spirit and popped back up for justice, and it shows that it shows that the person, whoever this male is, this devil that she came across, he told lies to people. He, when people probably asked about like what happened with her or something, he were telling lies. He probably told a whole nother different story of what happened with her, but something happened to her in a house. This took place at a home. It took place at a home. And it was a place where she was like trapped in. So it could have been like a place where he was like sleeping with her, drugging her up, like abusing and neglecting her, just, treating her wrong. Treating her wrong. Spirit shows me on here too, like that she was innocent. She was an innocent young girl. She just came across this serial killer, this cult. But see, not it was also a group, so it was more people that know about this, because it's this group had a meeting, like we got to cover everything up, we got to hide everything, we got to cover everything up. It's like they had to hide everything and try to cover everything up. But what this male didn't know, there's some type of surveillance. It might end up surfacing and coming back out. Her case and already popped back up 50 years later. So it might be something that person did, that it may show back up on the camera, because it does shows that, it was recorded. It means like God seen it, her angel seen it, That's why I tell people, you never get away with, it's true when God says, don't touch my anointing. You never gets away when you are messing with God's children. This baby was a child. So, eventually that person they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. It also showed me too that, the guy that did this to her, these people that did this to her, because they had her as a sacrifice. See, they thought that she was somebody that they can just, keep on manipulating. They was manipulating her, just thought that they can just keep doing stuff to her, abusing her, neglecting her. She came across these cultist type of people, these people that, they done lost their mind. They just do things like outrageously, sacrificing and stuff. And it shows that she won though. See, she won and got her victory, which her victory was, right now in the spirit realm, she has a very high rank in the spirit realm. And it also shows death. Like it shows her death, that it's coming out that it was the devil. It's the devil that did this to her, It shows that she has, like, her spirit is surfacing, and it's like the person that did this to her, whoever that did it to her, she's been hunting them. Like whoever did this to her, she's been hunting them. This person probably may have been feeling like paranoid, because it's like she up there in the spiritual, like up there in the spirit world, in the spirit realm, wherever. It's like she's slaying these demons. You know what I'm saying? She's slaying those demons that attacked her, did whatever that took her life, that did what they did to her. Right now, she's on top. She's like high ranked on top in the spiritual realm. It's like she's up there calling the shots. And when I mean it by that, it's like she's up there calling the shots, where she's getting these devils back. These people that did whatever they did to her, what they have done to her, because, she's on this devil. She's on that devil head. She's on that devil head because, see, it's like she was betrayed. It's like, this devil was doing a lot to her, very deception, they were doing a lot to her, abusing, neglecting her, betraying her. And she was so sweet and innocent, so young, so sweet, and, and so innocent. And it's like years later, her story is like, now years later, her story is coming back out. Her story is coming back out of, of what happened, what happened to her. And whatever she had wished for, she got it. Like, she got it. And if she's back here in this life, like if, she came back here in this life, back here in this life, it shows like this person, she had a lot of wisdom, very very talented, had like a great personality, like was born with this talent, with, a good person. Had a lot of wisdom, very smart and wise. It's just she got manipulated and, somehow got with the wrong person. Because she thought that this man, whoever got her pregnant, she thought that they loved her. She thought it was love, but she didn't know that this was all about money. Because it shows like she could have met this person at a party, been at some type of party, and and they seen her as a sacrifice, as somebody that they can just do whatever they wanted to do to. It may even show they may have like took her, like after the party, they may have like took her and had her in a house and did what they did to her. Where they shot her, it had to have been in a house somewhere. It was in a house. And what they did was covered it up. They cleaned up the evidence of what they done to her. It was a group of people. They had some type of meeting about, after they did what they did, it's like they had some type of meeting or something, like, oh, we gonna have to clean this up. We gotta clean this up, and then wait, what we gonna say? What we gonna say? And it's like this devil right here is saying right here, like this devil was telling lies. The person, they were telling when the family, what people probably was asking, like what happened with her or whatever, they were telling all kind of stories, all kind of just making up stuff, telling lies, was not telling the truth about what they did. But what somebody don't know is there is something that was on surveillance. There was something that was on surveillance too, and it's seen that man. Now, I don't know, could it been that, it could have been that at the hotel, motel, whatever, that, she could have been with this man. He could have done that there and, cleaned it up and had these people to help him do this and, hide it. That's what it's all showing right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, to hide it. But see in the end, she wins. She wins. Because she did get her victory, which her victory is she got her justice. And see, she was able to come back. Her soul, you see, it's like she resurrected. That resurrected from the dead. Like, she resurrected. She resurrected. And I feel like with this time when she came back, like, in his lifetime, like whoever she is today, she's protected. Like, she's very protected. And she's protected from any type of chaos. Anything like that. And she's also she ancient. She has like this that ancient spirit in her. She's protected from anything that is like devilish, bad, and all that. She's protected from that. She's protected from that. And it's like in this lifetime is showing like she might be a singer. She might have out here singing, have a beautiful voice. I see she's out here, she can sing. She's a singer. She may be like out here, she got a beautiful, she has like a beautiful voice. She could have been singing too, like back in the past, back when this happened. She probably was like one of them young teens, you know what I'm saying, that had a beautiful voice. Because if you think about back in those times too, you know, a lot of them were singing and stuff. You know, they had these beautiful voices and stuff, like, you know, back in the 70s, back in those times or whatever. Let's see what else. And it shows that, like, Discovery is like, her casing came back up. Everything has, you know, it came out. You know, it's like the truth of what had happened to her. It may have took 50 years later, but her story is out. It's out of what happened to her. It's like it's being solved. Like her case, like the puzzle pieces, the missing pieces. It's probably missing pieces that people probably wanted to know. Like, so what really did happen to her? It's these missing pieces to the puzzle, like, that would happen to her is coming out. Like, she came across this person that was a, you know, he was out here taking people out. And, you know, this serial means somebody got it bad, like they does it a lot. And this is the type of devil that she came across. She came across this type of devil that did this. It keeps saying like this person was some type of, like, caught, like a bad person. A bad person. This young baby came across this bad person. You know, like a person that this man, he probably done that to a lot of women. Takes a lot of women out. Like, you know, have them thinking that he falling in love with them, and he, you know, being with them. He might be getting them pregnant and then taking them out, you know, because she was pregnant. So I feel like the man was older. I feel like he was way older than her. I feel like that is probably why he took her out, because he probably should not been messing with her in the first place. So I feel like he tried to, like, hide and cover it up. I want to look a little bit more deep into, you know, this case with her, because I want to find a little more information out of. I'm wondering, is it something where she was, like, missing? I'm talking about before they found her in that river. I'm wondering, was it a case where she was missing first and then they end up finding her? I'm going to do some more research, you know, and find out a little more information about that, because I truly feel like it was a situation where she was missing first, like where she was, like, people was looking for her, and, you know, they didn't know, her family didn't know where she was at. They, you know, they couldn't find her, but she may have ran off, went, you know how some young teens be thinking they grown or something, and maybe she could have, like, ran off to a party, you know, was out, because it definitely shows she was out with some people. So she may have, like, went out to some parties or something, went to that wrong type of party, you know, and didn't know that she was coming across a person that was, you know what I'm saying, like, that was trying to take her life, like, you know, that was trying to take this young lady out. They were trying to take this young lady out, you know, what they did, you know, all for money. All for greed. It's like for the love of money, like all for greed. Like, it's sad because this baby was innocent. That's, like, all I be feeling like when I first read the story and when I first listened, and then I listened to the story. It's like this baby, she was innocent. Like, the first thing was saying to me, she was anointing. She was anointing. It shows it like she was innocent. Like, this is why she getting her justice, because she's getting her justice because she was innocent. She didn't deserve that to happen to her. She didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve for this person to do what he did to her. She didn't deserve for people to do the things that they did to her. She didn't deserve that. Like, this woman, she was young and she had a long life ahead of her. And she had a lot of wisdom. Like, she was very smart. You know, she was smart. It's just, she may have tried to be grown, like I said, and, you know, went out to this party with this man. And I'm going to look a little bit more into this information, because I don't know, she could have been a runaway. Something, it's like, I keep feeling like something where it's like she may try to, like, get away or something. And, you know, she could have been, who knows if she could have been abused and neglected where she was at and where she lived at or something. You know, who knows if that what the situation was, and she tried to run away and ended up getting with the wrong people. You know, partying, hanging out or something, like, you know, getting with the wrong people. And they plotted on her and, you know, made her a sacrifice, because that is exactly what this is saying. Like, they made her a sacrifice and took her out for money. Like, this was all for money. But she was also with, you know, this what you call these type of people that does this to women. This like a psycho type of person. She came across a psycho type of person. It's showing that maybe too, it could be like too, like somebody that was famous. You know, this could be somebody that had like a celebrity type of status. Like, you know, the person that could have did this to her could have been like somebody that was famous. You know, somebody that people probably wouldn't even suspect this person is that type of person that do stuff like that. But they do. And this person probably been out here doing this type of stuff to women. And as at some point, it's like she's getting justice. She's got her justice. And it's like this woman, her case is being solved. So now her soul can rest. And it's like now judgment is being called on, you know, what happened. Because first thing came out was justice, and somebody gonna be probably going to jail or something for this. Or if the person already could be in jail, it shows like she's getting her justice. She is getting her justice. She's getting her justice. Like, justice is here. It's here. And so I'm gonna show y'all. Let me just show y'all a little glimpse of, you know, God be moving fast. That's why I tell you, when God tell you to do something, don't even question God. You know, just do it. Just do. Oh, that's confirmation. You see that? That was confirmation. What Spirit said. Yes, if I tell you to do something, don't even question. Don't question God. If God tell you to do something, don't question it. Just be obedient and just do what God tell you to do. Just listen, because you never know why God is telling you to do this. You could be helping somebody and not even knowing, you know. So look, I'm gonna pause this for a minute, and then I want to show y'all something. You see, I'm not lying. See what I said about her soul can rest? Her case is being solved. See that? She got her justice. You see that? It's like she has been reborn. See, newborn. See, I cannot make none of. She has been reborn again. Like she done crossed over. So it's like she done been able to be reborn again. resurrected, which resurrected, you come back from the dead. And I used to tell people this. I would say this to people. I would say, like, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna wake the dead up? Because, people, I have been saying this in the message because like I've been feeling this. Like, people whose lives has been taken and was taken short, a lot of these souls, a lot of these people, they cannot rest. Fully cannot rest until they receive their justice. And it shows that now she can rest. Now she's receiving her justice. This woman is receiving her justice. And look, she on the devil. You see that? She's on that devil. She's in charge of this devil. You see that? I can't make nothing up. See that ghost spirit? She was hunting that person. She on top. She high ranked. High up there in the spirit realm. She on top. She getting this devil back for what this devil did. That's why, look, he thought he was getting away. They thought they was getting away in her case. Her story, just like, you see that? Story came back out. I can't make nothing up. Her story came back out. What happened to her. And it also showed like that this person, somebody she was dating. She was dating that person. I told y'all like she was in some type of like relationship or something, like what she was in some type of relationship or something like with this person she was dating. She was dating this crazy type of man, psycho type of man. She was dating him. Because like I said, she was probably, I feel like she was like one of them young girls trying to get away. Something could have happened where the home she was at, or she was with this type of family. It was something like that. That's why I'm going to have to look. I want to look a little more information. Like now I want to start searching for her story, searching to see when this first had happened, other type of information that was being, said. When I do all that research or whatever, I'll come back on here and be doing another message, a message pertaining to whatever more information. But so far, this is just the information that Spirit revealed to me as I started to do the message, like all this started to come out. And, I was trying to break it down into shorts, but I said, no, this going to have to be a full message. Like, I'm going to have to do this, record this message and do it like fully. But yeah, so yeah, and that is some information that is, what had happened. Because there was also some things that God allowed her was saying. It's like the voices, it was saying some things that, and some of the things that it was saying was like, wow, it came out in the cards. It came out in the cards. But now, Cheryl Lane Edwards, you can now rest, baby. You receiving your justice. You are getting your justice. You are receiving your justice. So I want everybody to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I want everyone to have a blessed, a prosperous, a productive, and a creative day. And, I'm going to see y'all later. Might do, as God give the messages to me, or, people that have passed on, once, comes up, want their story out, I'm going to do it. If God is letting me to do it, I'm going to be obedient, and I'm going to do what God told me to do. Just like when God told me to do the video on the missing people. He told me, like, I was getting ready to take the shower. He said, no, stop what you're doing. Put all that down. Do that reading now. It was a male voice like, do the reading now. Do it now. And I'm like, okay. I had to put everything down, y'all. It had to I was in the bathroom. This the thing. I was in the bathroom when the message came to me about the missing people. Get ready to take my shower, and Spirit said, "No, put that down. I want you to do this message." And I'm gonna tell y'all, at first I was a little hesitant to do the message. Like, oh God, I gotta do a message about missing people. Yo, you want me to do a message about this? But I had to be obedient and do what God told me to do. What Spirit was telling me to do, I had to be obedient and do it. And so I did the message. And then remember, in the message, I'm going to find my old message that I was mentioning about children. There were children that passed away that was trying to tell me what happened to them. But, so yeah. I'm going to go back and listen to that message too. And I'll probably repost the message. I'll probably repost it here on this channel so that y'all can hear. You'll be able to hear that message and see. I have been trying to tell people who I was, You know how people be trying to say, oh, she's ain't this, she ain't that. And, I'm that type of person. I just let people think whatever they want to think. Like, okay, think whatever you want to think. I'm not going to prove nothing to you. I'm just let God prove it. And it's like, say, when I did the message about missing people, now a story coming out of somebody right now from 50 years later. I don't even never thought I was going to be sitting here doing no video or no message about someone that passed away 50 years later, But this is what it shows, that this proves that this is God. He's resurrecting these people. People are coming back from the dead. They being resurrected, being reborn again, And they stories and cases and stuff that's coming out, like hers is just the beginning. Like there's gonna be plenty of more that is gonna be people gonna be found, or plenty more cases that from way, way back that's gonna pop back up. Somehow it's gonna pop back up in the records, So, because like I said, I've been saying it and people did not believe me. These souls, a lot of these people, they want to rest. They can't rest. They want the justice of what I told people. People want justice of what happened to them. Especially if you took their lives and they were innocent, they want their justice. They don't care who they gotta come back, who they come back as. They want their justice. And they ain't gonna be able to rest until they get their justice. And I showed y'all. It shows it right here in the message. So everybody, y'all have a blessed, a prosperous, a productive, creative day. See y'all later. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel, because it's going to be a lot more. As God give it to me, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be obedient and do what God tell me to do. So if he tell me to help solve a case on a particular person, I'm have to be obedient. I got to do what God tell me to do, because I don't know why God is having me to do this. Only God knows. So y'all have a blessed, prosperous, productive, creative day. See y'all later. Out.